Our film today begins with Rahul standing in the middle of a large crowd of people. It seems he was in the midst of a brawl. As he says, "I am 40 years old, but I will tell you the story from the beginning. Let's find out what happened." We go back in time to when he was a young child. His parents died in a car accident, and he lived with his grandfather and grandmother. They owned a sweet shop, and he worked in it when he grew up. His grandfather always interfered in his affairs and made his life miserable, even in his relationships with women. On his grandfather's 100th birthday, his friends arrive and say to him, "Come with us to the city of Goa to have a good time there." But he tells them that his grandfather will not approve of him going because he still treats him like a young child. After that, his friends go to convince his grandfather to let Rahul go to open a branch of his shops in the city of Goa. The grandfather was focused on watching the match, so he told them, "All right, go." But then the player missed the last point and they lost the match, and the grandfather died from the shock. After they buried him, Rahul decided to go to Goa with his friends to enjoy his time a little. He goes to tell his grandmother, saying, "I won't be able to manage your restaurants. I want to live my life as I wish." She tells him, "All right, my son, but you must fulfill your grandfather's last wish." He had wanted half of his ashes to be scattered in 2 different rivers. "I will go to scatter half of the ashes in one river, and you will go to the Rameshwaram River to scatter the other half." Rahul goes to tell his friends, and one of them tells him that there is a river in Goa that flows into the Ramaswaram River, and if you throw the ashes in it, they will surely reach the great river. Rahul buys a ticket for the train heading to South India to show his grandmother that he is going to the river. She tells him, "I trust you because I know you will reach that river and fulfill your grandfather's wish." He boards the train, sad because he lied to his grandmother. His friends were waiting for him at the next station to pick him up and go to Goa. He gets off the train to meet them, but forgets his grandfather's urn of ashes, so he rushes back and gets it before the train moves. At that moment, Meena, a beautiful girl, was about to miss the train. Rahul was intending to get off, but when he saw her, he changed his mind and took her hand to help her get on the train again. When he was about to get off, he found that the train had already moved from the station. As for the men he helped get on, it turned out they were chasing this girl because she was running away. They caught her and all sat down, and he was with them. His friends call him and he tells them, "I couldn't get off the train. I'll meet you at the next station." He tells them, "I have a very beautiful girl with me." He starts to flirt with her, thinking she doesn't understand Hindi. Then he starts singing to her, and she replies to him in Hindi, saying, "I understand you, idiot, and these men you helped get on the train have kidnapped me, and they don't understand Hindi, so take your time." They exchange replies through songs, so the men with them don't understand what they are saying. Through the singing, she makes him understand that she wants him to go to the restroom, so she can follow him and take his mobile phone to make a call for someone to rescue them. Indeed, he goes and she follows him, and the first thing he does is introduce himself to her. When she tries to talk on his phone, she finds all the men surrounding her. They throw the phone out of the train and threaten him, so he returns to sit in his place.
The ticket collector comes to take their tickets, so Rahul continues to sing in Hindi and informs the collector that they are kidnapping the girl. The ticket collector takes their weapons and escorts them out of the carriage. Rahul feels happy that he was finally able to save the girl with him and that no one would be able to hurt him. But they throw the ticket collector from the train, so he tells them, "Guys, this is not right." He returns to his seat, terrified. They tell him, "You are the only one who saw us kill the ticket collector, so you will come with us to our village." His friends couldn't reach him. As he sits on the train, he sees her talking to the criminals with her and giving them orders, which they carry out. When he asks her, she tells him, "My father is a big gang leader, and these are his men, and they obey my orders. I ran away because my father wants to marry me to Tanga, his friend's son, because if I marry him, his friend's village will join our village, and my father will become the leader over it." He says to himself, "I was going to have fun. What got me into this? Oh God." He sleeps at night next to them, and their appearances at night seem stranger than during the day, so he gets scared and continues to sleep. When he wakes up in the morning, he finds the train has stopped at the station. He gets off quickly to tell the station officer that there are 4 men kidnapping a girl, but he discovers that this officer is affiliated with the gang. He goes out to talk to Meena and informs her that the officer is with the gang. She
She tells him, yes, you. This area is under my father's influence, and no one here can disobey his man, and you will stay here and will not be able to get out.
He argues with her and says, I wish I hadn't taken your hand and helped you and these weird people onto the train. She tells him, all right, I'll tell you how to escape, but do everything I tell you. And when you stand before my father, whenever he says something to you, nod your head and tell him yes. After that, they stop the train to get off in front of their village. This is her father, the leader, and he looks like a dangerous man. He says to her, how long will you keep running away like this? She tells him, I swear I love this young man behind me, and he loves me too. Rahul did not understand their language, so he just nodded his head in agreement. The leader says to him, then learn our language. She tells him, I will teach him, but after the marriage. They carry him and return to the leader's house. On the way, she tells him, I've gotten you into trouble. I told my father that you love me and we will get married. If you say anything else, they will kill you. And tonight, I have a plan for us to escape. When they arrive at the house, everyone celebrates and welcomes him because he will be their daughter's future husband. After that, he tries to remember his friends' phone numbers to call them, but he forgets all the numbers. He wants to talk to Meena, so he writes to her on a piece of paper at the storeroom, and when he tries to throw it to her, it falls into the hands of another woman. When she sees it, she looks at the person she has a crush on. The paper continues to be passed from one hand to another, and in the end, the paper reaches her, and she sees it. At night, everyone goes to the storeroom and is surprised when they see each other. Her grandmother sees them and says to him, you are naughty, coming to the storeroom at night, while he actually wanted to escape. The next day, he finds the district officer talking with the leader. This officer knew his language and Hindi as well. He goes to him and says, how did you fall in love with Meena when you know she loves Tanga? You are going to get beaten severely, my friend.
And this is Tonga, and he does indeed look violent. Tonga goes to the leader and says, I've heard that your daughter has returned, this time with someone else. He tells him, my son, you know that everything is fate, and she is the one who chose him. The officer was standing with him and translating for him, and he says to Rahul, Tonga is now upset with you, and this matter has wounded his pride. Tonga goes to talk with Rahul and tells him, we will have a fight tonight, and the winner is the one who will marry her. And Rahul, like a fool, nods his head in agreement as Meena told him to, without understanding what he is agreeing to at all. After that, the officer informs him that he has been challenged. The leader comes and says, tonight we will see which of you is stronger and deserves my daughter. Rahul goes to meet her after that and tells her, I'm going to be beaten tonight, and you must find a solution and help me escape. She tells him, I will make a plan tonight for us to escape. They then return to the village, and he sees that many people have come to watch him get beat. He enters and sees a woman dancing, so he goes to sing and dance with her. Meena wanted to call him to execute the escape plan, but he wasn't paying attention and continued to dance. He drinks so much that he can no longer see clearly in front of him. Then he finds Meena telling him, let's go, let's escape. He goes to talk with her and sees his grandfather's urn and says to it, you are the reason for all of this. Then he goes back to the men who were with him on the train and starts provoking them while drunk. He sees Tonga and goes to talk to him as well, saying, listen pal, before we fight, I'll show you something. Can you do this move? Then he takes the motorcycle and starts doing acrobatic tricks with it and speeds off. They send people after him to catch him, but he escapes from them. He passes by the officer and falls with a bike. The officer takes him and brings him down to his hideout and tells him, in the morning, go to the station and escape. The next day, he wakes up to find himself on a boat heading to Sri Lanka. The men on the boat tell him, we are going to smuggle goods there. He finds the Coast Guard approaching them and firing at them, and he doesn't understand anything. When the police arrest the gang, they catch him too. He tries to make them understand that he is not with them, but the gang members tell the officer, in short, he is one of us.
He continues his story, saying, now I have been arrested, and Meena will also marry Tonga, whom she does not love. So I decided to start a new story with Meena. When they arrive at the police station, Rahul tells the officer everything about his journey to deliver his grandfather's ashes to the river, and that he was kidnapped and went to the village of Kamban, then escaped after that. Because he has no proof of his identity, the officer tells him, we will go to this village to verify. At that time, the ceremony is about to begin. Rahul
arrives with the officer and finds the men he was running from. He tells them, "Let me escape," but they grab him and hug him as if he were one of the family, and they tell the officer, "Leave him, he is one of us." Then they gather around him and say, "So you insult us and run away." He runs from them, takes a weapon, and threatens them. Then he takes Meena and exits with her, gets in the car, pushes Tonga, and escapes. Everyone gets in their cars and chases him. He takes the market road and the cars collide with everything in their path. He also destroys a large part of the village while escaping. After that, he stops and tells her, "You get out here." She says, "I won't get out. Do you want to escape alone? I must come with you, or I'll tell my father to kill you." He takes the car and continues on his way. He finds 2 other cars chasing him and manages to get rid of them. In the end, he manages to escape, but the car breaks down, so they both get out. He keeps hitting the car until it moves by itself and is about to fall into the water. He tries to catch it before it falls, but in the end, it falls into the water. He goes down to get his bag from it, as well as the headlight to keep as a memory from this car. And he tells her, "I'm on one path and you're on another, and I'm not going anywhere with you." She tells him, "Hey, the only way to escape from here is to pass through our village." But he tells her, "I won't come with you," and leaves. Tonga is sitting in the village annoyed because Rahul took Meena and made him fall in the mud. Rahul walks in the forest and meets a young priest and asks him how to get to the road, but he doesn't answer him. He finds a big vehicle and the driver recognizes him and says, "All of South India is looking for you, pal, because you ran away with the leader's daughter," and refuses to take him with him, leaving him and driving away. Rahul realizes that he has no way out of here, so he goes back to look for Meena. The first thing she says when he finds her is, "I knew you would come back." She takes him and they walk another way, with him following her. They arrive at a village called Vidamba, and she tells him, "There is a wedding here, and we can hide among the people until my father or Tonga stops looking for us." She goes to talk to the villagers and tells them that he is tired and might faint. He says to himself, "I won't make the same mistake again," and nod my head in agreement. And he does that, so the villagers get startled, take him, and lead him to a house to stay in and rest. He wakes up and says to her, "What did you tell them?" She says, "I told them that we got married and ran away because I am rich and you are poor and sell sweets." He says to her, "And how did you know I'm a sweet seller?" She laughs because she didn't know and said it by chance. He tells her, "You and your father have a good sense of humor, and surely your mother is as nice as you both." She gets upset and tells him that she is deceased. She looks out the window and finds a mother getting her daughter ready for the wedding ceremony, which makes her more upset. He apologizes to her because he didn't know, and he tells her, "I know this feeling because my parents also died in an accident when I was 8 years old, and I lived the rest of my life with my grandfather, who took my father's place because he loved me very much." She says to him sarcastically, "What a truly sad story. You have lived 50 years without a father or a mother." He tells her, "I am young," and leaves. He later finds her preparing to sleep on the floor, and he tells her, "It's not right for you to sleep on the floor." She tells him, "No, pal, you are the one who will sleep on the floor, not me." He goes to the bed and tells her, "As long as you told people I am your husband, we will both sleep on one bed." She tells him, "Then bear what will happen to you." He later wakes up to the sound of her talking, and it seems she is still asleep. She hits him and knocks him off the bed. She wakes up and says to him, "Sorry, I've had this problem since I was little. Come on, come sleep, I won't do it again." But he tells her, "I will never sleep next to you again," and he sleeps on the floor. The next day, he wakes up and sees her outside wearing beautiful clothes, and it seems he has become fond of her. She tells him, "Since I told the villagers that we are newly married, you must carry me and take me up to the temple, and if you don't agree, they will kick us out of the village." He carries her and goes to the temple and finds it is at a height of 300 steps. She tells him, "You must go up and not go back on your word." He ascends with her, barely able to walk, but he continues and finally reaches the temple at the top. The monk tells him, "You will surely take care of her for the rest of your life." She is happy, and it seems she has fallen in love with him too, but she knows they will not end up together and that their relationship is just a facade in front of people. He puts a mark on her head to complete the rituals. She stands before the deity and prays and cries because she wished all of this was real. After that, they live together in one house, and she takes great care of him, and they spend a lot of time together. One day, she finds him packing his bag, and he tells her, "Let's escape from here." She tells him, "If we escape, these people will be sad and will not help anyone like us again." And she adds, "And just because we performed the rituals doesn't mean I actually became your wife." She tells him, "You have no feelings, and you want to sadden the villagers who trusted us." And she reminds him of his grandfather, whose ashes he is supposed to go and scatter in the river. But he gives her the ashes and tells her, "Keep them with you, and you two live here." Then he takes his bag and leaves. She is sitting, upset. Then he returns again, but this time with Tonga and his men after they beat him. As they are about to leave, he sees a weapon and says to Tonga, "Pal, take this girl and I will leave." And this was his plan, to take the weapon and threaten them. But she argues with him before he can take the weapon and tells him, "You are a deceiver. You will leave me and go." He sings to make her understand that this is his plan to escape with her. Suddenly, Tonga starts singing with them in Hindi. He had understood everything. He tells them, "It's not easy to fool me." He takes the weapon to finish off Rahul, but he finds a child coming and saying to him, "Don't you dare touch him." And all the villagers come to defend him. Rahul takes her and runs, getting into the car to escape, but she goes back to the house again and brings his grandfather's ashes, and he doesn't understand why she's doing that. She gets in with him and they both escape. He buys her a ticket to travel and tells her, "I am going to scatter my grandfather's ashes in the Ramesaram River to fulfill his wishes." He also tells her, "We all must face our fears. I was really scared, but there is still a human being inside me, and that's why I came back to you." She tears up the ticket and tells him, "I will come with you, because if Tonga catches you, no one but me will be able to save you." He begins to admire her more when he learns that she is also interested in him. He takes her and they go to the river, and on the way, they sing together. He reaches the river and scatters his grandfather's ashes and fulfills his wish. At night, he talks with her and remembers his grandfather and tells her, "Everyone who loved me has left me." She tells him, "And I too will leave you tomorrow and go so you can be rid of me, because I have caused you great trouble. I will go live with my friend in another country." He tells her, "No, come with me to Mumbai so none of your father's men can reach you." She tells him, "And what will you say to my father if he comes and asks what I am doing at your place?" He tells her, "We can pretend we are married." She gets angry and says, "No, I will go to my friend's place," because she wanted him to actually marry her, as she loves him. He keeps remembering the days he spent with her since she got on the train with him. She is asleep while he drives the car to take her to the station. When she wakes up, she finds herself in her village. She says to him, "What brought you here? They will kill you, you fool." He replies to her saying, "I thought a lot before coming here." Then he gets out to meet her father, the leader, and speaks in his language in front of the villagers, saying, "You are a leader, but you do not deserve to be a father to your daughter or to any girl in the village, because there is not a single girl who has an opinion or can marry the person she loves due to family pressure. We are in the 66th year of independence, and you don't have a single girl who can be independent in choosing the person she will spend the rest of her life with." And he speaks to the villagers to let them know that their daughters have the right to choose whom they love. He finds Tonga in front of him, so he goes to him and says, "I will fight you because I love Meena." And this is the first time he says it, so she cries with joy because he loves her too. But her joy is not complete because all the men beat him. He then gets up and takes a weapon, and we return again to the first scene of the film, and we will find out what our hero will do. He starts hitting the men, but Tonga comes back to him and keeps hitting him until he falls to the ground. He sees his beloved, so he gets up again and hits him. Tonga gets angry, and they both start hitting each other. Rahul reaches the weapon and grabs it, but he spares Tonga and throws the weapon away. Tonga grabs the weapon and stands before him. Then he too throws it away and says to him, "I will not kill you because you have proven to everyone that you are braver than me." The leader goes and says to him, "You are a great man, and you are the one who won. So take Meena, my friend, because you are a true man." As he is going to her, he remembers the priest's words saying to him, "You must take care of her for the rest of your life." She cries and says to him, "Do you love me this much? We could have just run away." He tells her, "I had to come here and create this much excitement to prove to you that I love you very much." And he asks her, "Will you marry me?" She tells him, "Of course, pal. Why else did we do this whole action-packed movie? I've lost my voice, man." He hugs her and they both cry. He tells us, I took the wrong train to travel and enjoy myself, but it led me to the right path. And by chance, I got to know her so we could live the rest of our lives together. In the end, don't forget to show your support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. By the way, there are many videos on the channel that you will like. And if you don't find your favorite movies, write the name of any film you love in a comment. And goodbye, my friend.